Well, tell me, what is Hood Proud?
I mean, basically, Hood Proud is something that the world needs. God has commissioned us to go into the world because there are people hurting. I mean, emotionally, and we're talking my people. We're talking the hood. We're talking people that are struggling to survive. And it's like when they're looking for answers, I mean, you could just say, well, pray, but I mean, they got things that they're trying to accomplish. They got needs that need to be met. So what is Hood Proud? Hood Proud is the complete concept spiritually where God is like, first, feed the people, clothe the people. When you're done with that, then tell them why you did what you did. Because when you explain to them why I clothed you, why I fed you, that's when I come in. Because I am the one that has commissioned Hood Proud.
Time's running out. Time's running out. Can't you see we're living in the last days? Time to get right. Yeah, it's time to fight. Look to the Holy Spirit and he'll change your ways. God is trying to show us that he loves us. Cause if he didn't, then he never would have sent his son. And seeing that he did, just accept his gift, open your heart and know that Jesus is the only one. Slip up after 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 slip up and we still slipping. Still getting high, still drinking booze, still watching porn, and we all tripping. Gotta find a better way to really stress. I suggest taking a trip through Holy Scriptures, baby. Read it out loud. Read it on the train. Who cares if they looking at you like you crazy? John had a vision that the rain was flying in the sky. You think he cared? They thought he was crazy. You even wonder why he wrote about the things that he did or saw in vision. The crowds put together by God. We on a mission, picking up where John left off as we accepted the call and screaming, come out of Babylon because it's falling, it's falling. And anyone who gets the mark of the beast will drink a wrath of God, filled up and cut and fall on the feet. It's the last thing you can get to make the call an official. If can't a weapon formed against you, possibly put down the pistol. Got a weapon that I told season 6 in the chamber from start to finish. You'll get hit from Genesis to Revelation. God is patient. He's waiting on his people to pick him. The Holy Spirit's in their ears. But just shut up and listen. That's Hood Proud.
Father God, in the matchless name of Jesus, I'm asking that you begin to bless every city, every state, every block, every corner, every street, every alley. God, do something new in these streets like never before. We ask that you put your crushing fist down the devil's back. Non-violence, non-violence. We stand and decree that this world shall come into peace, even now because the blood still works. God, we know you can do anything but fail. In Jesus' holy name, amen.
You think this is a game? This is not a game. The book of Daniel, the book of Revelation, all the prophecy that was talked about. You've been to sermons, you've been to church services. You think that all this fire, doom, and brimstone has been preached about and laughed about by the devil and other people who don't believe for all this time because you think something's not about to happen? Better wake up like that dog bark, just like something creeping up on you. This is what we are here to bring, here to tell you right now to wake up before it's too late. Cause God ain't playing and neither is the devil. When them sirens come, probation shutting down while you still playing around. Now there's no more grace to be found. While them heavens heaving roll, plagues and death reign over souls. I bet you wrote now, but it's too late now. There's nowhere to go.
Hey. Welcome. Real Talk 101. Sunday afternoon, 6 to 8 p.m. Voxwave Studios. Phone number here to the studio is area code 240-719-2560. If it's your first time joining us, this is what we call Real Talk 101, The Devil Exposed. And that's precisely what we do. Speak about past revelations, experiences, and events during the past week and show how the Most High guided us and how he exposed the devil in each of those situations. I'm your host, Brad Trammell. My co-pilot is right there, Mr. Orlando Boyd. We start off with prayer request and prayer. What's on your mind, O?
Ty. That's about it.
That's about it.
Right now, I mean, yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired.
I'm right there with you, Joe. I'm right there with you.
I mean, the Most High know who need prayer. My mind ain't even firing on all cylinders right now, but once we open with prayer, I'm sure that'll change. But
it usually do.
I mean, bruh, do your thing, excuse me.
That's a bet. I only got a few prayer requests. My mother, she has doctor's appointments this week that are very pivotal, but we've already claimed healing. We've already claimed a miracle. She's expecting it, and I'm expecting it. So just keep my mother in prayer and keep Darian's family in prayer. Last I heard, his wife and his kids were ill. So we're going to pray for them as well.
I do got a testimony, though, and I neglected to mention it on the show in the form of a prayer request that my man's son had been missing in Baltimore for like 3 weeks.
Whoa.
So, prayed and asked the Most High, man, because I didn't really want to, you know, we go missing for 3 weeks in Baltimore.
That's a wrap.
Chances are, you gone.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? But all praise to the Most High, man. My prayer was specific. It was like, man, you know, even if everything ain't all right, just let him find out where his son at. Found Slim, you know what I'm saying? Safe and sound. You know, all praise to the Most High.
Safe and sound, yeah. I thought you was going to say something else.
Yeah, no, he good. He good. You know, to my knowledge, he good. So, yeah, that's a blessing right there.
All right, bow your heads. Father, Yah, thank you for assembling us here yet again. You know our hearts, you know our minds, you know our bodies, and the weariness we're facing. We ask that you send your Holy Ruach right now and take control as you have so many times before. Give you praise and thanks for the brother Aaron's son being found in Baltimore after 3 weeks, defying the odds, and simply because you got involved in the mix. So we thank you for that. I ask that you would be with my mother going into this week. You know our hearts, what we've been praying about, 100% healing. Diagnosis to baffle the doctors. That's what we're looking for. So I claim in confidence that it shall happen. I thank you ahead of time for it. I pray for Darian's family as they've fallen ill. I rebuke the devil in the name of Yeshua right now in his household. Pray for the rest of the brothers and sisters of Hood Proud. Be with Nikki, man. Trying to get her on the horn. She going through some things right now. We pray for her liberation of those things. And just continue to be with us while we do the show. In Yeshua's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Ain't nothing like thunder, man.
Nothing like it, man.
Nothing. I love thunder.
Beautiful to look at, too.
I love it. I love storms.
I remember I was in Florida last year, around about this time. It was maybe June, July. And from the balcony where we were staying, you could see the thunderstorm in the back and the lightning dancing through the clouds. And you just wait. You see, depending on how long the streak of lightning was, how it danced, that's how big the boom was going to be. I remember one time that joint looked like the lightning just danced for 100 yards, maybe even more. It's just like, and I just waited. Boom, 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 boom. They're just rolling.
Yeah.
I love that joint. That joint was powerful. It's like the angels up there bowling. It was tight, man. But yeah, going into this week, man, I ain't got nothing too much to report. I'm glad I made it through. The Most High held me down in abstinence. So this is probably my biggest testimony, man. I've been praying with my mother, been trying to live righteously in the sight of the Most High and do what I'm supposed to do. And he holds you down, man, but it's a daily battle. It's a daily struggle. Temptations that we all face, you know what I'm saying? But with the prayer in the morning and the prayer in the evening, essentially, when I talked to my mother about it before, we likened it unto David fighting Goliath. And David ran at Goliath before the one-on-one kicked off. He ran at him. So I said, well, let's run at this Goliath we got in your life, man. We praying, and it's working, man. I don't know what and the Chandler family, David Chandler, he does the taxes for my father and my family. He's fallen ill too. He's in the hospital, matter of fact. They went to visit him in Columbia yesterday. So the Chandler family as well. But I know the Most High is gonna do his thing, man. He has this in the palm of his hands. And that's about it. These 3 young brothers who I teach Sabbath school, man. Tristan, Ricky, and Dwayne. 3 young, brilliant black boys, man. Call them 3 Hebrew boys, man. Them jokers right there. They gonna do something powerful. I don't know what y'all got to do for them, but they be accepting knowledge as he gives it through me, man. And them brothers right there. It's just a blessing on those brothers, man. 3 young brothers. You taught Sabbath school? This past Sabbath, you taught Sabbath school? Sure did. Taught it in the morning. Came out of Exodus 32 through 34. Golden calf all the way up until the recreation of the 10 Commandments. And they cover that part when Moses set up that tent outside the camp after leading up into that, he came through and he was like, after he tore the calf up and ground it up in the powder, made the Israelites drink it. He said, who's on Yah's side? And the Levites grabbed their swords. He was like, go through the camp, kill a brother, a neighbor, and a son. Each of them at least had 3 kills on them.
A brother, a neighbor, and a son.
Yep, that's what it say. A brother, neighbor, and a son. The zeal of the Levites, starting it's like chapter 32, starting at verse 25, man.
Israel's apostasy. They're always doing something apostate. They're always apostatizing.
Always apostatizing, bro.
It's funny, when you hear apostate, bro, don't they have an apostolic church?
Apostolic church. I don't know if they really do. It sounds familiar, but I can't confirm one way or another. See if they say they do or say they don't.
That wouldn't be proper.
Maybe it's like apostle. Like apostle,
okay.
like an apostle.
You got apostasy in your name.
Yeah. Not like that.
Right.
Yeah, that ain't right.
But
it was interesting to me though,
man.
And the biggest thing I love about this little stretch right here is when Moses asked the Most High to reveal to him his glory. And he was like, I'm going to proclaim my name in front of you, but I got to put my hand on you, hide you in the cleft. Because if you see my face, then you're going to die. And the note down here in the bottom said this is something that's referred to later on in the Old Testament when people couldn't see the face of the Most High. And then they said this includes the seraphim who have 6 wings who shout holy, holy, holy around him night and day. They have to cover their face with 2 of their wings. They got 6 wings, up, middle, and down. They use 2 of them to cover their faces while they yell it, because when they start giving him praise, his glory grows. It expands. And I was just like, the thought of that, man, it's like, it's amazing, man. So, and then, of course, when Moses came out from rapping to the Most High, his face was shining. He had to wear a veil. But yeah, man, my message to the people is the same as it's been. Seek truth. There's a lot of history, a lot of heritage in this Bible. This past week was listening to some Malcolm X, started reading a lot of stuff about, our heritage and how it extends back further than slavery. It really does, man. Slavery is not where it begins. It's so much further back than that. But yeah, man. But what happened on Saturday night, man? Unless you got something else to say, what's good?
Oh, no, I was just about, slavery. Slavery was a chapter before the last. Even though it had been, slavery in this country, because it's still going on. But it's about to be lifted. All that mess is about to be done away with in a mighty way.
Mighty way.
Yeah, and the Most High about to show off. But, man, excuse me. He allowed me an opportunity to, basically, it turned out to be like an interview session at Metro. Young lady Arlette Powell reached out for their youth ministry, Teens 4G, Teens for God. And they're doing a transparency series. And, the subject matter was not allowing jail to ruin my life. And anybody that's been following us and tuning in, y'all know it ain't no secret that, I've been to jail and have had experiences being incarcerated while doing this show. So, all praise to the Most High. The opportunities were they were learning experiences. They didn't become. I didn't let them, get me so out of whack in my thinking that I felt like there was no hope. You know what I'm saying? Everything is all downhill from here because I keep finding myself in trouble with the law from time to time. But it was said that the conversation was a blessing to the hearers that were present. It's interesting. As many people that have been invited, didn't a lot of people really show up. But the faithful few that did come out, I'd asked the young lady prior to getting there if they were going to stream it. And she was like, nah, because I had somebody ask me if it was going to be streamed online. But once people didn't show, she was like, look, we can either cancel it, or no, she said reschedule, or we could just stream the joint through Metro's website. And I was like, well, if we cancel the joint, the devil wins, so we ain't canceling it.
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
So she ultimately ended up streaming the joint. And, as of this morning, when I looked at the joint, like 200 and some people have viewed the joint. I doubt 200 and some people would have came out to the church anyway.
Right.
But just that night, 160 some people have viewed it. She said that the website is connected to like 4,000 different individuals. So the Most High worked it out so that people where he knew he had people places that couldn't get there, but had people showed up at the church than the thought when they came to Charlotte to stream it. So, you know, all praise to the Most High. He works everything out according to His will. You know, it was a blessing for me to be used, to be transparent, and you know, just tell a little bit about what the Most High has brought me through. And I had fun at the same time. Spit a little Sermonic flow. You know.
I had heard your stories before, but I wasn't acquainted with the name Clubby.
Yeah, old Clubby, man.
Big Clubby, huh?
Man, that was interesting.
It's an interesting dude.
That was an interesting experience, man. Cause you gotta think, man, you 16. I don't care what you think about yourself, or how big you was, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You're in jail now. You got stripes on. You're going behind the bars, you know? And when they close the door behind you, open up the door where you gonna go, his monster comes out the joint, man.
And you said how small the joint was, dog.
Yeah, Slim, the joint wasn't big. It's an old jail.
An old joint, right?
You know what I'm saying? It's, each block got 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 or 6 cells, and the joint wasn't, man. You walk in the main, you add another 4 or 5 feet. That's the block, and you got 6 cells.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they was like
the windows probably
4 by 8s maybe. 4 by 8s. You know what I'm saying? You know, your bunk is like 2 feet, and you got 2 feet to move around the side, 8 feet deep. You know?
Yeah.
Not very much room. So.
Especially with him in there.
Heck nah. You know, but the Most High worked it out, man. That was a learning experience too. Taught that man how to play chess. You know, did some Bible studying with the brother.
Right.
Yeah, everything worked out. You know, we had no problems. He ended up, I was jive like running the block for a minute. What's that?
You said water. Yeah, man. I mean, the way the setup was, I mean, the fact that the first conversation he had with you was to ask you what in the world you're reading. I mean, those types of, oh yeah, your name, and then go into that because you had it on you. I mean, that was instantly teaching mode.
Yeah, man. When he woke up, I was like, here we go.
Here we go.
This is the first day. I'm like, I came in at like 3 o'clock in the morning, woke the man out of sleep. He was already pissed off. He coming to John, he had to get himself back to sleep, wake up in the morning. I'm like, here we go. It's gonna happen 1 or 2 ways. And who that, Lamar?
Smart idea. Hey.
It's gonna happen 1 or 2 ways, man. But all praise to the Most High.
Come on in, man.
It worked out the way it was supposed to work out.
He be on right there on the chair, right? Oh, okay.
What's up, Joe?
What's up? What's up, bro?
How you feeling?
All right.
What's up? How you feeling, man? All right. Oh. Yeah. You all right, bro?
Right now. They chilling.
Man, I'm tired, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm ready to go to sleep. I ain't got too much left in me, man. I really don't, man. I'm glad I'm off tomorrow.
I try I mean, she said when I overheard y'all having a conversation, she said yours was the second one in the series
I
of
thought it was the last.
Yeah. I'm interested to see this program he was at last night.
I sent you the text, the Transparency series at Metro. Okay. Metropolitan SDA Church on Riggs Road. Riggs. Yeah.
Hey man, he was rapping about incarceration, how it didn't affect his life or ways it did and did not. I was interested to talk to her. It's like, well, what other topics you gonna cover? Because I mean, it's like when she called me about it, she's like, we need somebody to talk. She had her topic already ready, talk about jail. So I'm interested to hear how deep she going with any other issues. Because based on what she was going to say, I was going to say, well, shoot, I'll talk about that. Because I know the stuff I'll talk about, a lot of people might not. You know what I'm saying? And as you were sitting up there having that interview, man, the questions she was asking were very poignant. Because I knew you was going to go in. You wasn't going to hold nothing back. But that's what needs to happen. And the fact that it was recorded was a good thing because people can check it later. Not a lot of people were in attendance, but, you know, what'd you say? Like when we left, 163 people?
160 some people have viewed the joint.
Yeah. So
it was only like an hour and 15 minutes?
Something like that.
An hour and 20 minutes. I kind of thought it was going to be, but I kind of like that setup because if I'd have just been speaking, I'd have just been speaking. I could get all over the place, you know. But the questions keep you moving in the right direction. And ain't nothing like being asked a question. You know what I'm saying? I would much rather be in a room full of people that got questions than a bunch of people that think they know everything and ain't even gonna pay attention. Anyway, that's a waste of time. So, you know, we started implementing that. You know, before we do whatever question, you know, you got questions. They go a little card and a pencil, write your question down. We'll take your questions.
You need to see where people's minds is at, man. I mean, people, it ain't about being entertained or just learning something. It's like, okay, it's a good thing to have people voice what's on their mind, and then we meet it right there. And the thing is, I think what we do with our programs is we set the tone to let people know, yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to go into it. So there's no holds bars around here. If you scared to talk about it, I will talk about it first so that time when your question comes to be answered, you won't have no fear of talking, you know what I'm saying, or speaking exactly what's on your mind. Sometimes people are, sometimes ain't. But, you know, like, for instance, the week before O did his thing, we was at this other church, Bladensburg, and we got 2 questions that came to us. The first one was, what do you think about homosexuals leading out in church? Leading out, like being up front and stuff like that. And the second one was, you know, how do you relate or talk to this teenage, preteen age youth when they don't want to listen to nothing? You know what I'm saying? And O brought up an interesting point last night, man, because it's so unorthodox, but it's the realest way we know how to do it. Like, this mother called me one time from this church, Bladensburg. Now, her son wasn't there when we were there last week, but she was like, I need you to come up this jump and talk to my son because he's smoking weed, and we don't know what to do with him. We about to throw. That's her mindset. That's what she's saying. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, I hear what you're saying. So what do you think is? Well, he don't listen to nobody. You know what I'm saying? We done tried to talk to him. I told him to stop doing it. So it's that typical parental tutelage to be like, nah, you just can't do it. Not know why or what's the effects of this or getting deeper. It's just like, no, I don't do it. Why? Because I said so. That type of thing. Also had an interesting experience when I was up at DuPont. This woman came up to me and she was like, I need you to come to my son. He just got out the pen maybe like 2 weeks ago. All he does is sit around the house. He's quiet, ain't really got no friends, but we about to kill him because he don't want to go out, you know, and get no hustle or go get no job. He's just chilling. I was like, well, where is he? He was like, he's sitting right there. And he was actually in the church, sitting in the pew. He was leaned up against the side, you know what I'm saying? Head was nodded up. And I was like, well, do this. I was like, if he's open to rap about something, you have him call me. This is my number. Pass the information. Because there has to be an understanding. He ain't going to force us down nobody's throat. You know what I'm saying? And my approach is, like what O said, is like, yeah, if a kid is struggling with something, first of all, we're going to take you away from the environment where all your people's at. We're going to sit some down somewhere and rap. If we talking about weed, I might spark up with you and talk to you about that while we spark. But some adults might be like, no, why are you going to do that? I was like, because that's how communication begins. If I meet you right there on your level, then he's like, oh, okay, ain't no judgment. No, it ain't, because me and you right here in the same boat. You know what I'm saying? We still alive. We still both breathing. The grace of the Most High is clearly on us because we ain't dropped dead. So I can talk to you about anything. You know what I'm saying? Whether that be the drink, whether it be with porn, whether it be with weed, whether it be with whatever you're struggling with, frustration, anger, like depression, we going to talk about all that stuff because at one point in our life, that's why I love this clique that the Most High done put together. All of us have dealt with something. All of us have dealt with something. So I think the eye-opening thing and this is what I'm hoping that the people who watch the aftermath of O's interview really take to heart. It's like the difference that transparency actually makes goes a lot farther than turning on an interview and he have a cookie-cutter conversation. You know, Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. You know, and just run along the lines. Don't get deep. And a lot of people do that. O even started to get deep, but they, you know, deflected a little bit. And they was like, he's talking about
Man, I'm gonna jump down them people's throat, man. That's what the Most High told me to do. So That's what I'm gonna do. I can't wait until I got like 4 hours. At least 4. You know what I'm saying? Because an hour and a half ain't enough time. You cutting stories short. You know, you know, downsizing the testimony, because sometimes you got to get some prerequisite information. I got to let you know what happened when I was like 14, 15, that led up to that incident when I was 18, that ultimately resulted in me doing this when I was 25, and now at 39, is what the situation is. So you get a full, you know, what do you call it?
Scope,
you know. But it's coming.
Oh, it's definitely coming. I mean, as I saw him get interviewed, I started thinking about, you know, the fact when other members in the joint get interviewed, because everybody got something interesting to say. You know what I'm saying? I actually started thinking about, you know, like some of what my greatest testimonies are and how, like, my joint is mean. I ain't even stepped really into it because it frightens me. There's a portion of my life where if I reflect on it too long, I end up glorifying it. And that's when I was traveling to do what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Just to be real. Seeing women partying in other places, seeing how they got down and just being carefree and careless with it. And a lot of people don't know that started, like, the interest for me, that started in like the 6th grade. We had this program, or not this program, this project that the teacher assigned. She gave everybody in the room a country to do a book report on. And I got Brazil. And from that point on, it was a wrap. In my mind, I was in 6th grade, I was like, I'm going to this country. Because the things I remember Disney Channel had this, you know how they had them little mini musical things. It wasn't a movie, and it wasn't a movie. It was like a little mini musical, but it had people and cartoons in the same joint, like Roger Rabbit. And I saw it, and it was like Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and Goofy like went to this parade in Copacabana. You had all these people running around dancing, they was partying, everybody was happy singing songs. And then, not only that, they had these cartoon, and they had like tigers, jaguars, toucans, all this stuff. I'm looking at the joint, my eyes is like, yeah, that place look amazing. Where is this place? They said Rio de Janeiro. It's the first time I ever heard of it. I did that book report, man. I came up in that joint, gave my little spiel, talked about the rainforest, because the Amazon is down there, and how that joint, the Amazon produces 70 to 80% of the world's rain, because all them trees just kick up gas. That's how the Most High irrigates the world. He just waters the world through a jungle. And I know that now because I've studied, but like knowing it before, it's just a big jungle. You know what I'm saying? But then, like, how the Most High uses, how he controls nature, man. He takes the rain from there and then takes the wind and blows it to another continent so that they can get rain in Africa. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. He knows what he's doing. Yeah. He knows what he's doing. But yeah, from that point on, man, it was like, I'm going to go to Brazil. And in the 8th grade class trip, most classes went to like Wild World, Kings Dominion. You know, we old school from around here. You get Wild World. Our 8th grade class trip was to London, England. It was a wrap after that. I flew over the Atlantic and landed in another country. And how was you, 14?
8th grade?
8th grade.
13, 14, somewhere around there.
94.
I was 14 in 94.
Yep. Because we graduated right after that in May. So we went in like late March, early April, for about a week. We was out there joint.
They don't care that much about you in public school, man. They're not gonna send you to another country for your 8th grade trip.
Their 8th grade trip. But we had this, you know, she's asleep now. But this woman named Lafise Quinona is powerful. You know them powerful black women who just got the love and the passion to see their youth, the African American who prosper, and she gonna break her neck to give them every opportunity. That's who she was. She demanded excellence. And when she stepped in the room, she had big dreams, big ideas. She attacked, went after whoever said, you know, we getting these kids to London, England, we're gonna expose them to some culture. And she made it happen. And she was doing that the whole time she was there. She went to sleep maybe about 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I was at the funeral. Couldn't believe it. She had, you know, the cancer, man. The joint got to her. She used to smoke way back in the day. That joint caught up. But, man, it was, yeah, man. But I thank her for that. But it ended up opening my eyes to, hey, man, I can get out of here and wild out. I could be a different person. Change my persona. Learn a little bit of the language. Say, I don't got to tell you my name is Brad. Call my name Bartholomew. Brian. You know, Esteban. if I could spit the language, the people would pick up, and then that's what they would call me. And then just having that freedom to be somebody, it's like acting. It's like acting.
Exactly what it is.
It was acting.
That's exactly what it is. That's why the most, as you know, it's funny, right? Because I've thought about it. I was like, man, if I ever moved away, it's one thing to take the opportunity to literally be somebody different. You know what I'm saying? Than what you were before you left where you was at. But wherever I go, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be me, Joe, and it's gonna be you either gonna love it or leave it alone.
Right.
You know, I can't wait to look some of them foreigners in their eyes and let them know, I know what you do. Yeah, I do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Right. You right here, bro. Don't die. You go. Wait, I'm not going around that corner with you, man. I'm not stupid. Nah, bring that around here to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got Shawty too, right here. Would you? Oh, we cool then. You know what I'm saying? It's an understanding. Everybody don't possess that understanding. You know, it's certain. I don't know. I've never been out the country. I've been to Florida. You know what I'm saying? That's about the furthest south I've been.
Nah, but
Ohio, and I think upstate New York. You know, other than that, if I can't drive there, I'm not gonna see it no time soon, bro. I'm not getting that air. I spend enough time around planes at BWI. It's not enough space, bro.
gotta get in that air, bro.
Brother, it's not enough space.
Get an exit row. Do you have space?
I need to be on a B-52 bomber or something. You know what I'm saying?
with the cargo bay?
Brother, I will chill in the cargo bay. That's like a warehouse.
Yeah.
I need room.
Plane.
I don't want to look over and see the other side of the plane right there.
Right.
7, 8
plane,
people between.
bro.
Brother, listen, you don't. What if I want to go outside?
It's a beautiful view.
No.
It's a beautiful view, dog.
I'm gonna take your word for it. When I see the gates of heaven, I'm gonna be on my own. I'm gonna use my own wings.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't trust them people. No. I believe you, brother. Take a picture for me next time you up there.
I actually got some on here, like
text
looking
me
out
that
the
joint,
window.
right? All I want to see is if the world has got a curve. If the planet really got a curve.
Nah,
But the windows is concave though, so they cheating anyway.
Nah, if you look at the Earth from up there, it just looks like just miles of land and like these little specks be houses. You see how small we really are, really. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing I did see out there, and it was pretty common wherever I went, the black man was treated with a lot more respect everywhere else. And that messed me up.
Why do you think that is, though?
The racism exists everywhere, but this is the number one thing that I've seen. This country, particularly Hollywood, does an excellent job in portraying the African American to fulfill all the negative stereotypes that we've come to know. And that stretches all the way across the globe. It's in movies, on Netflix, on internet, everywhere. Criminals, thugs, untrustworthy, fatherless, houses, single mothers, loud, crazy, no sense, all that stuff. Vulgar. It's everywhere. But the crazy thing about it is you go to these other places and you go to the communities that are not middle class or upper class, they mimic everything we are. You know what I'm saying? I go places, hey, Barack Obama, Jay-Z, you know. And that's what they say to me to open up communication because they don't speak my language. And then they see how I'm dressed. I'll be dressed like this. They'll think I came out of like a music video or something because they see that. They see that portrayal. And plus our music is so daggone contagious and pervasive. It makes you move because we got rhythm. So it's like everywhere there's a respect for the black man everywhere else, man. Everywhere else.
Man was like, we were talking yesterday, he said the movie King Kong is the story about the plight of the American Negro.
Yeah.
You big and black, of course. You taken the white man comes into your land, this foreign land. You ain't bothering nobody. They chain you up, put you on this boat, bring you over here. You lose your mind. You get to tripping, and the only thing that could tame you was a little white woman.
Yep.
I don't want look.
I heard that too.
Brother, this is real talk. I had been one white girl in my life that I can recall, and it was not a memorable experience. It wasn't. And I'm not gonna be vulgar and go into no detail, but you know, they need to keep their clothes on. That's no. They have no color to you.
Hey man,
Where is your color?
I was having a conversation with Raphael about this today. I was like, when a black man gets with any other woman in the world and they produce children, it'd be like some of the most intelligent, beautiful looking children. You add black to anything, you have enhanced
You got something special. You've enhanced
You've enhanced
You've enhanced it.
Black and Asian, black and white, black and Hispanic, anything. That joint just gets enhanced. And he's like, it joint be blowing my mind. And I was like, that's because the Most High knew what he was doing when he pulled us from the soil, from the dirt, man. You know what I'm saying? That loss of pigmentation going way back in the day was a mark of disease,
I think
a
the
mark
devil
of
was
sickness, man.
I think Lucifer was white.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. That's not a fact. I don't know this. I think he was white. I think he is currently. Not Caucasian, but white.
Just pale white, right?
Just pale. That's just me. Yeah.
Shit, I was on that just to talk about. I was like, I want to expose.
Time. I told you. Time. I want to go to sleep, man. I want to go to sleep, bro.
Yeah, we wrap up at the top of the hour.
Ah, man, we could go. I'm tripping. I'm just, tripping, man. I'm tired,
This
man.
is about the realest real talk you gonna get because we ain't got no energy.
I ain't got my Bible even, man. I left my bag in the truck. I was expecting to go back home. I rode out with my brother. You know, when I was telling Brad, man, I rode a 125 for the first time today, man. Yeah. Then my man got Joe down the country, riding through the cornfields. So I was liberating. I was a little intimidated by that joke at first when he cranked Shawty. I was like, man, he lifted him up. I don't want to ride no Willies. I'm not the Willie type. I have no desire to be on one wheel. It's bad enough I'm only on two. Right. You know, put me something on one. No. But once I got used to it, he was like, man, don't try to show me up. He putting around in second gear. I'm like, Joe, hit that joint. He come back around like he did. So I get on that. Once I got it moving, I'm like, yeah.
Get out.
This joker go. They ain't go no faster than third gear though, bro. I'm not no fool. That joint feel like it go 150 with no problem. I was doing about 70 in third gear. Getting it going. I'm like, man, I don't know this cornfield. You know, it might be a hole. I'd bet, you know.
Man.
At least I'd have been in the dirt. Yeah?
Replay.
Okay. I thought somebody was making a move over there. Hey, man, that was fun though, man. It was been a relaxing day. They celebrate my little nephew's birthday, man. He turned 10 Tuesday. They over Dave and Buster's now. I ate some garbage. That's probably what it is. I had a big old burger, some garbage. Ate some fries. And drank a Sprite.
Oh, yeah.
Done.
Yeah. He said, with the Sprite.
With a Sprite. With a Sprite, man. I'm going to be asleep soon. I'll be asleep soon, man. I'm not going to lie. I generally have a lot more energy than this, especially coming in here.
Mm-hmm.
What? What's up?
You know, and I know you guys definitely open to the my thoughts, I should say. Just thinking, man, like, don't you know how when people die, people come into this world, and you wonder, like, you question, you know, you just question stuff. Why? And the thing that came to my mind was like being in the perfect position at the right time for the right reason, for the right season, for the right person. Like, you know, I want to know if we as in like all of us. I met you through my wife because of our wives' relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was never with her, like never met her, I would never met you, and you're a cool cat. You know, I met y'all through another brother. You know, and if I would have never met him briefly for that brief moment that we are connected, never would have met y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm glad I was not me, but I'm glad he always put me in the right position at the right time to do the right thing. Man. And it's just like kind of like dawned on me about like not really focusing on the what ifs or why not, like just more so going along with what he has planned for us, man, and just living and walking and moving and breathing in that moment, just making it purposeful versus being in the moment asking why this, like taken away from what he gave you. Right? You know what I'm saying? That hit me just the other day, bro. Because I still do have a lot of questions.
Right.
Just wasted a lot of time thinking about it, wondering about stuff. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get it with my finite mind.
Let me repeat what you're saying, sir, because I know you ain't mic'd up. What my brother was talking about, he's saying,
I'm sorry, my bad.
that's all good.
I
No.
might vaguely be able to hear you. The little mic hanging right there.
He was expressing his thoughts on the importance of accepting where you are with the knowledge that the Most High set you where you are. So it's not about going through your life and having regrets, saying what if, coulda, shoulda, woulda, that type thing, or why and why not. It's when you can sit back and look at the people who are in your life, the situation that you're currently in, and then how you face it, and just having a positive outlook on it, because it wasn't you who designed or ordered your steps to get where you are in the first place. The Most High did it. So that's what he's expressing. I hope I captured that right.
That was perfect.
But you mentioned accepting and living in that moment. Yeah. I think that's crucial if we could grasp that and actually apply it. Like, stop worrying about whatever happened 20 minutes ago. Yes, definitely don't worry about what happened yesterday. And don't even concern yourself with what could potentially happen tomorrow. What's going on right now? What are we doing right now? And if more people thought like that, they wouldn't waste so many opportunities when you could potentially meet somebody.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Something as simple as I'm in Subway Saturday down there in Waldorf. Lady just as nice, you know what I'm saying, just as polite. She was just thrilled to be working at Subway. Made my sandwich, you know. She was about to ring me up, and then the manager came over there and told her, go ahead, go take the other people's orders. He would ring me up. He rung me up. The Most High was like, you didn't tell her thank you. She had walked off. I wasn't going to yell thank you to her. But I felt like I was being told to tell her, just say thank you. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you making my sandwich. And when I'm looking at her, I'm walking by. If I get to the door and she don't look at me, I ain't saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? She never looked up. So I went on outside. Most High was like, you just gonna eat your sandwich without washing your hands? I was like, dang, I do need to use the bathroom. I go back in there, use the bathroom. He's like, tell her thank you. When I walked back out, she was at the register. I leaned over to her. I said, oh, thank you. I appreciate you making my sandwich for me. You have a good day. She was like, oh, you're welcome, sweetie. You know what I'm saying? And with a big old smile, I felt a little better. You know, sometimes it goes a long way being polite. You know what I'm saying? Not always being, you know, just because you look mad all the time don't mean you have to be an angry person. You know what I'm saying? I know this. I'm positive we share the same look. You know what I'm saying? I'm positive when you be in the, I already know how it is. You know, regardless what you know, the whole time you might be thinking about, damn, it's hot. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, anything. It ain't like necessarily, man, if I see that nigga, you know, the whole time somebody look at you like, man, yo, that nigga, you coming for me? So I'm not looking at you, bruh. I'm looking all the way past you, man. I'm looking 2-3 days down the road type stuff, man. But it's we was talking about that on the show last night, man. Not the show, at the little interview joint. I feel like I'm getting to a point, like I said, 39, Joe, about to be 40. Scripturally, we're about to be elders. That was the adolescent age was from whatever to 40. Then you became an elder. You start embracing your gray, you know what I'm saying? Your skin ain't gonna be as tight as it used to be. You know, you might not have muscle where you used to have muscle at, but you know something. You done been through some stuff and you can advise as opposed to just talk. Some people need to just shut up because what they talking about means nothing. Has no real substance to it. Especially a lot of these pastors. That's where you got me at now. Man, I'm just tired of listening to it. Because if I'm studying more than you are, and you're the pastor, you're the one in charge of the flock, but I can raise questions to you about scripture that it's foreign to you. You don't even know. Where is that in the Bible? Thyself first. You know what I'm saying? You hear something you like on the radio, you're like, I could preach on that. May not even have no biblical background. You create a sermon full of stories, and might find a scripture to go along with one of your points. And you, pastor preached today. What did he say? Nothing. He gave you nothing to take you through the week. And I mean, but people love it, and they drop their money in the basket 2-3 times a day, and you know, pastor account swollen. And you ain't got gas in your car. You know what I'm saying? You think pastor gonna take you around the corner to BP and fill your tank up? Nah.
Man, that stuff bothers me, man, because that's not. It's not ministry. It's not, because, man, when the Son of God is on this earth, he was for the people, any type of people, not just those who had ears to hear, but people.
Yeah.
People. And man, the pastors today don't do that. They more so about
money. Money.
Yeah. But more so about the following that you can bring
Yeah.
to their church. So
Numbers.
they get more money.
Yeah, numbers.
Yeah.
Numbers.
And back in the slave days, they used to ask you who your master. Now they ask you who your pastor. Why that matter?
Why that matter?
I know who my God is.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Man, but don't get me started.
What you mean don't get you started, man?
I'll be here till tomorrow talking about that, man.
That's
Hey,
what we
bruh.
rap about here.
Saying whatever the Ruach put on you, you know what I'm saying? It's the Most High. He's about to break down this false system of religion, and he's doing it from the inside out.
Yes, he is.
You know what I'm saying? Because the leaders are falling apart. The people are tired. The people start. I mean, look, man. If your praise team ain't hype, and your pastor can't make you cry, that church is nothing. It's nothing. You got to be jamming doing praise and worship. You know, somebody got to be running around doing some cartwheels or something with they baton. I'm not taking away from nothing, the way nobody worship. I can't tell you not to worship the Most High the way he has put it on you to worship him. But I asked a young lady one time, I asked her one time because she's one of the praise and worship, she was one of the praise and worship leaders at RPC. And I was curious as if ever Pastor Graham was speaking this Sabbath. I said, man, you know who's speaking this Sabbath? She's like, I don't know, I'm not performing this week. Those were her words. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know that's what we were doing. I didn't know that's what took place on Sabbath. I didn't know you were performing. I thought it was ministry. So you acting when you up there jumping around. You're not really excited. You're trying to get everybody else to jump. Come on, stand on your feet, clap your hands. No, this is a day of rest. I'm tired. I'm going to sit right here
we get back
and
to
listen
that.
to you.
Come right back
You know
around
what
to
I'm
be in time.
Bro, yeah, that pastor always, everybody wants you to hit your neighbor. Say something to this person.
Oh,
Say something to
I
that
can't stand that,
What?
Joe.
You tell 'em.
Tap your neighbor and tell him.
You know what I'm saying? They
Tap
playing a
your
game.
neighbor and tell him this, tell him that.
Brother, I don't care if you ever respond to me. If I'm giving you a message from the Most High, I don't care if you ever respond.
Yeah,
You ain't got to acknowledge. You ain't got to let me know you hear me. The Most High know I'm saying what he told me to say. You gonna think about it. You definitely gonna think about it. It's
I
gone.
told this man, yeah, one time I went to a church, and the pastor, he was one of them big joints. He was getting into it, he's getting going, and then during almost when he did the altar call, he was really into it, hollering, "Hey, down there!" And he was making these points, and people got up from their seats and walked down front. And let's say this is the stage. They walked up to the stage and dropped money right at his feet. I had never seen anything like that in my life. And when it happened, more people did. They was just dropping money. You could see the dollars just fall. I was looking around when nobody else thinking it was odd. And the more money they dropped, the louder he got. I was like, the only time I've seen people walk up to a stage and drop money is at a strip club.
That's a strip club, Joe.
I was like, and then one of the explanations on why that pastor allowed that was he said, nah, I don't know this man, but he said that there are pastors who were at this church who have retired. He takes that money and adds it to their retirement fund. That was the explanation given to me. I was like, even if that were true, the mindset of a man who is speaking words and people are dropping money in his feet, you talking about, you can't tell me his pride ain't through the roof. You start if somebody came in here, start dropping money while me and O talking, I'd be like, you got to get out of here with that, son. You got to get out of here with that, Joe, because that's like...
I'm going to get the money. Yeah, you want to throw money down? I'm going to get that. Yeah, let me get that.
Yeah.
I might have been in church. Yeah, I'm saying, you drop some money. Drop some money. And it ain't in the offering plate. Man, yeah, you won't keep throwing money on the ground.
They had these, yeah.
Man, I've been to a rack of churches and they do that, but man, do you know why they do that?
Why do you do that?
Most of them do it because it's like they're not saying I agree with it or it makes sense to me, but this is the understanding that they gave me, whatever. But they do it as a offering to God. They put the money before the man of God because they're planting the seed. It's like saying amen without saying amen. So they put the money down to plant the seed into holy ground, so they can see whatever they praying to God for flourish from that donation.
Wow.
Sounds very elaborate.
That's the reason.
It's a well-crafted, elaborate reason. That's all I'm saying, Joe.
It's like you said. The woman was saying, "Yeah, I don't perform today. It's a performance. It's a tip to something."
That's why them jokers got their reward here. They got their reward here. We're supposed to lay up for ourselves treasure in heaven. And that's the sad part about it. You're a preacher. You're not looking to go to the kingdom. Your expectation is in heaven. Nah, I got, what's his name?
TD?
Save the Seed Ministry.
I heard of that before. I just can't think of the name. Bro.
TIL Ministry. Dr. Shine and Dee Dee Freeman. Man, you see his house in Brandywine, Joe? That man got a helicopter landing pad behind his house, man. He got, I think, a Phantom.
For what?
Because he got like 3 vicious hustles.
He got 3 churches.
3 vicious hustles. Hey.
Trap house.
Hey.
3 trap houses.
So, man, I know somebody know him personally, but yeah.
A pimp, a pusher, or a preacher. That's what they were back in the day. It's 3 P's. He was either a pimp, a pusher, a preacher. And a lot of them preachers are all 3. They pimps, don't be a minister South Central. Nigga said, brother, get the offering plate around that side. Nigga, get it around that side. Now we're going to have another selection from the choir.
Right.
With his toothpick in his mouth.
With the toothpick. That's right.
Nigga, get it around on that side. We said, brother, nigga, get the offering plate around that side. Nigga, get it around on that side. Like now, get that money. Hey, Joe, I'm like, but can you imagine not having a connection with the Most High?
Man,
that's the easiest hustle. All you got to do is get a person worked up, and they go in their pocket.
It's emotional. People come to church because they emotion. They in their emotions, and they want somebody to soothe their emotions, not really deliver them or minister to them.
They want to be comfortable in their sin. And if you preach a feel-good message, when you leave the house of God, you ain't got to worry about changing because, I'm going to be all right. Everything's all good. I ain't got to change. I am who I am.
God know my heart. That's what we're going to say. You know, the crazy part about that is the scripture says that the heart is deceitfully wicked.
Above all else.
Desperately wicked. You know how wicked that is?
Desperately wicked.
Desperately wicked.
And he knows that that's, but I'm like, you use that as almost a justification to do whatever. God knows my heart. He knows you effed up. That's what he knows about all of us. We all jacked. That's why he's merciful, man, but he wants us to come talk to him. He wants to reason with. He's a reasonable being, a reasonable spirit.
Let us reason together.
Come let us reason together, man. Though your sins be as scarlet, I can make them white as snow. That means you got to know that you wrong.
You got to know that
you are wrong, and I can fix you. But if you think you good,
can't do nothing with you.
I haven't done. I'm not as bad as him.
Oh, we talked about that too. That's how the conversation opened up in the church. We have tiers. I say tiers like levels. That's what I mean as far as tiers. We have levels of sin. This is worse than this. This is worse than that. This is worse than that. And we judge. We judge the heck out of people based on what we think is more heinous.
That religious
but that's done in society. That's done even in elementary school. You know what I'm saying? Certain things you getting expelled for, certain things you ain't. It's ingrained in us. You look at one sin as to be darker than another.
I mean, breaking the one commandment, you guilty of breaking them all. You know what I'm saying, type thing. But I know, and I'm not sure if it's in the scriptures or if it's something
Levitical
that Ellen White talked about. But everybody is not going to burn for the same amount of time. If you don't make it, you ain't gonna burn forever either. You're gonna burn until you're burnt up. But
they will.
If you 21 and you chose the streets, so you living the street life. you lose your soul. You 70, you chose the streets, and you lived it. Both y'all gonna burn, but it wouldn't be proper for that 21-year-old to burn the same amount of time or with the same intensity that that 70-year-old who did probably a lot more in his life than that 21-year-old. So even in the Most High's mercy, His infinite mercy and wisdom, it's like you're gonna burn for what you did, not for what he did, and you're not gonna get in no trouble for what you did. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that may have been the first time you ever heard anything like that, and the devil's gonna burn the longest. He's gonna burn for everything he's ever tempted anybody, ever tempted. So even the ones that's in heaven that overcame some temptation, I think he's gonna burn for a long time. When others have burnt up, I mean, hey Joe,
I would add to that though, young. Like as far as the amount of how long you burn, but it says that the wages of sin is death, and this is something that a mistake is a mistake. The Most High knows. I know I made tons, and He didn't choose to reach out to me until I was like low 30s. You know what I'm saying? I had spent all the way up and then doing what I wanted, ain't listening to Him, ain't know Him until He decided to reach out. It was a choice after that to continue to do that. And that's why it says the wages of sin is death. In order to get wages, you got to work at it. So you chose the street. It's not just that you chose the street. You chose to work the street. Work the street way into your dying age. You work that junk up till you was 21 or till you was 70. You're going to have opportunities. The Most High is not going to let a man walk this earth that He gave life to, that He formed in the womb, have no chance to know who he is from top to bottom. He's going to be like, at one point, this is who I am. And then because He's merciful, this is who I am, this is who I am, this is who I am. But you constantly like, nah, I got work to do. Nah, I got work to do. Nah, I got work to do. Can't do nothing with you. So you working for your wages. Your wages is death. You gone. You got to work that joint, man. Because He, just like you said, when the Savior was here, walking around, He was with the sinners, the publicans, the prostitutes, the pushers, the tax collectors, the worst of the worst. So much so that the religious elect, an elite class, looked at Him and was like, oh, you must be tripping. Something must be wrong with you because you hanging around with the people who are clearly sinners. But they did not understand. Huh?
As if they themselves
As if they themselves were not. Right.
That's the problem.
That's the biggest problem.
We don't look at ourselves. We're too busy pointing the finger at everybody else.
And we forget they forgot where they came from.
That's
you know, you can't like kill someone Genesis like in their walk with Him. Like the first you had to acknowledge who He is and all that stuff first, but man, He met me where I was.
Right.
And He did that with all of us. And if He wanted, like, if He waited until we were whatever, we probably wouldn't have never got it. Never would have got it. That's why He came to us where we were. And to me, that's the most beautiful thing about Him, man. He'll meet you where you are, man. And that's why I love Him so much. It's like nobody loved me like that. No computer. Man, nobody loved me like that, man. Nobody took the time to stoop to my pit to see, not only to see me in my pit, because it's pitch dark in the pit. You see anybody in the pit? Man, He saw me in my pit, bro. He saw me in my pit, man. It's a beautiful thing.
That is, man. That's an amazing thing. That's like pulled from the mud.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He knew. He said, it is pitch dark in that joint, but you know what the Most High said in the beginning: let there be light. You know what I'm saying? The light came from the darkness. There was darkness first. People don't really take note of that. You know, you consider darkness to be what? Evil, wicked, whatever. And darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Ruach, the Spirit of the Most High, hovered upon the face of the deep. That holy, violent, consecrated wind, which is what the Ruach, the definition in the Hebrew, a holy, violent, consecrated wind moved upon the face of the deep. And the Most High said, let there be light. So Yahushua came forth. You know what I'm saying? In the midst of darkness. And then He made two lesser lights. One to rule the day and one to rule the night. But the light had already been called forth, separated from darkness. I don't know how you want to look at that as far as the war in heaven or whatever the case may be. The Most High said, be fruitful and multiply. Go forth and replenish the earth. I thought it to replenish something, it had to be something there to begin with. Was this planet a dwelling place of fallen angels? Prior to that could be what Enoch was talking about. You know what I'm saying? He has a lot of information on some wild stuff that he was showing about stuff that took place on this planet. And I guess it all depends on how deep you want to go. If all you like is the cover, you know, stick with the cover. I'm a heavy equipment operator by trade. I dig. I like dirt. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind getting. I just started growing fingernails. I don't mind having dirt on my hand. My hands are dirty now. I was playing tennis or something. I need to wash my hands. But yeah, I like to dig, man. Landscaping. You know, you got to be in the soil. You got to figure out the ins and outs of these things. You know what make it grow, what to kill it. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want the weeds to keep coming back. You got to know what to put on it to get rid of it, to the root. You know, but the weed and the tail's going to go together. So you got to get it to the root. You know, and it's surface picking weeds. That means, nah, you got to get the root. Or it's going to come back. It's going to come back anyway, eventually. You know what I'm saying? But that's how our lives are. You know, we just take our fingers and pinch the bed. You know what I'm saying? Just get the stuff that you can see. But the root is all still there. It's all still there. It'll be back. A little rain, a little sunshine. You know, good times, bad times. It'll come back. It'll always come back.
So most of us don't really get fully delivered from stuff because we don't go to the root.
That's truth.
Get surface deliverance.
Hurt people. Yeah. You got to get to the root. I didn't realize till I was 35 that I was damaged. I came up through a dysfunctional, man, stuff was crazy. Yeah. But I'm like, I thought I was all right. Get with a psychologist and you get to thinking. And I'm like, hold up. There's something wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? I am. Yeah, I do. You know, it's me. It's me. I used to think it was everybody else.
Got issues.
I used to think it was everybody else. I'm like, hold up, man. Now we are all different. Something wrong with me. I mean, something's wrong with all of us. I don't care who you are.
Everybody got something.
You know what I'm saying? But to consider the fact that my mother and my father did used to argue. My father did used to drink. That nigga did used to come stumbling in the house. We did used to have to wake him up off the toilet. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? Now, in my 30s, I was like, man, I've stumbled in the house. I've had to be waking up in the bathroom talking about, am I following the same path? Nothing's changed. That's deja vu. Denzel go back in time and then realize he didn't really change anything, as if he. That's one of my favorite movies.
You got to pay attention to that movie.
But I mean, that's you got to. The fact that the Most High can step into the past, he's present in the present, and he already knows the future. He's in control. And I really believe he will go back if you stretch your brain back far enough. And you see what you did. You can't do nothing about it, but if you stretch your brain back far enough to see what you did while communicating with him, he'll take that memory and let you know, I got that. That's taken care of. I covered that. You know what I'm saying? If we confess our sins, he's faithful and just to forgive us of our sins and cleanse us of all unrighteousness. Well, I ain't never do nothing. You lying to yourself. People got them file cabinets. They file stuff away, and they forget about them. Mm-hmm. I've heard several different females generally use that analogy or whatever the word is you use to describe. Yeah, file cabinets, and you could tell you got one file cabinet got skull and bones on that joint, you know, or the yuck face. You know, that's dangerous. Yeah. They don't never want to talk about what's in that joint. It might be 3, 4, 5 dudes at the same time in that file cabinet off a drunk night, too much tequila. You know what I'm saying? They'll tell them what got stuck in that file cabinet. For real. You know what I'm saying?
That's real, Joe.
In them. In the file cabinet. You know what I'm saying? Up in them. You never know, because I'm talking about, Joe, when you think ain't nobody looking, oh, man, I got to go to heaven. Because if my story.
Yeah, it gets told in front of everybody.
If you see what I did.
Yeah.
No.
It'll be clear within the first 5 minutes. Oh, I see why he ain't make it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So you ain't gotta watch no more. You ain't gotta watch no more.
That nigga did that. Oh, that's a sick dude right there, man. Something wrong with that joker. Yeah. Man, nah, something wrong with him.
The thing I love about the Most High is the fact that the more you know him, the more you understand how much he understands the human condition.
Mm-hmm.
We come into this world, we deal with our problems from the time that we are born all the way to the time we have understanding, late in age. You know what I'm saying? The word says if you honor your father and mother, your days might be long. Let's say you got long days, did everything you're supposed to do. You come to a point in your life where you review your life, and he's like, man, you will have the thought. It's like, I'm the only one that's just like me. The Most High has seen your exact predicament before. He's seen a worse case than you, because you may think you're the worst in one area, and he's seen a lesser case, and he's fixed both. That's why we got this, because everybody who exhibits the traits that we have, they in here. You can find your traits in here, and you can see how the Most High dealt with them. Because the one thing I love about this thing, if this book portrayed everybody who was before us as saints, we had nothing to look forward to. It's a wrap for us. If everybody in this joint was a saint, perfect, start to finish. If you ain't never read about David and what he did with Bathsheba, if you ain't never read about Samson and him tipping around with Delilah, if you ain't never read about Elijah, having moments of doubt, asking to be killed because a girl said she was going to take him out, if you ain't never read about these moments of weakness, you never see yourself in here. And then the greatest example of all, the whole nation of the children of Israel. If you can't look at their plight, their whole trek from Egypt all the way to Canaan and not see yourself, and that used to be me. I used to say, what's wrong with these niggas? They seen plagues. They seen the Red Sea split. They seen a pillar of fire and a pillar of a cloud. And then in the next chapter, they asked for a golden calf to lead them, like the pillar of fire and the pillar of cloud did, because they got tired of waiting for Moses to come out the mountain after 40 days and nights. When you see stuff like that, I think of myself and how quickly I forget.
We do the same thing.
How quickly I forget. Yesterday, he forgave me for this. Today, my own thing. I'm alive, I'm breathing. I'm doing my own thing.
How can fear and faith reside in the same tomb?
How can fear and faith
Reside in the same tomb? Is there enough room in our temple for both? Or do you just want to just be one?
It depends on which one you let in. We got them two wolves. Whichever one you feed, that's the one that gets stronger.
Yeah,
You got that self.
It's just, to me, man, that took me back to a place, boy. Ooh. When years ago, I think I was a little young. I told myself, I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna do this God thing, whatever I was saying at the time, I gotta be like, you gotta keep it a stack with me, because you already know what I'm up to anyway. So, it's not like I'm gonna be hiding it from.
Right.
He gave me my brain. Just told myself, you know what? If I step into this realm with him, I can't be fearful of anything. I have to just trust him and just take whatever happens to me and just take it on the chin and be a G about it. Because stuff gonna happen regardless. Because that's, man, people gonna test you, family, friends, whomever. Like, you're going to be tested to prove that you're really standing with him for real.
Yep.
And I told myself, you know what, man, if I ever tell him I love him and mean it, I'm gonna stay right there and not let no fear seep into my heart, no way pertaining to what he said he was gonna do for me and promise me and cover me and all that stuff. So I said all that to say, like, it's hard for me to love God but then don't really trust him or have faith that he's gonna work everything out, but be wondering how it's gonna happen. Like, it's either you believe him or don't. Ain't nothing else. Now, granted, we wrapped in this nasty flesh. I get it, and we lose our minds sometimes. Yada. But fact is, you can't. It's like serving two masters. You love one and you hate the other, and the other master is yourself. Like, nah. You love him, you trust him. Leave it at that. Don't let nobody, nothing distract it. And sometimes it's our own people. Not our generation, but our own people, our own family, cuz. I don't know where that came from, but it came.
You know what? The Most High showed me last night, man. And just like what you said earlier about like just being like content, just being So in this moment, you know what I'm saying, embrace this moment, appreciate what the Most High is doing in this moment. Good or bad or whatever the situation, whatever's going on, be accepting of it. Like, man, my brother done been through some stuff, and I don't understand how he's dealing with it except through the power of the Most High, that peace that passes all understanding. But to wrap your mind around the concept that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, rulers of the darkness of this world, spiritual wickedness in high places. But that means these demons ain't dumb. They're not green. Principalities, these jokers, I can say royalty. They got rank. They got rank. They may have been rulers in other worlds when the enemy summoned together, a third of heaven's host and convinced them to go against the Most High. Who knows? They wasn't all foot soldiers, and they military minded. You know what I'm saying? And they use stratagems to get at us. You know what I'm saying? Where he been plotting on you since you was a baby, because he knew when you turned 21, you was gonna want to be at that strip club around the corner from your house. So we had that dude that you was in like second grade with. Y'all never liked each other, and he would just look at you and you'd look at him because he lived down the street. And you coming out that strip club at 21, he'd like, that one tell him. If he come out of that spot, get him. The Most High spent all of your 18, trying to convince you that you don't want to go to a strip club when you turn 21. Go when you turn 22. But don't go when you turn 21, or that might be it for you. Them type situations, that's how I see how the devil communicate with the Most High. He got a plan for each one of us, just like the Most High got a plan for each one of us. And he'll look over it. That's approved. Nah, can't do that. Okay, that's all right. All right, that's cool. Nah, can't do that. Can't do that. All right, what else you got? Now, this is what I'm going to do. That's what you want to do, and I'm going to let you do that stuff, but this is what I'm going to do. Even as you're doing that, this is what I'm going to be doing to combat that. As long as he picks me,
got a choice.
That's not going to work.
Interceding on our behalf.
In the midst of our wrong.
Doing before, man, that's crazy.
That's what he do.
That's crazy.
Before the foundations of the world. He knew us, to know that he knew you in the womb. Like, wrap your mind around that.
Yeah.
Wrap your mind around that. Knew you. When he was thinking you into existence, because he had to pass through his mind first. He had to, like, we all a bunch of little wrinkles in his massive brain. Every time a wrinkle pops in his brain, it's a life. That's from birth to death. You just pass through the Most High's mind. Man. And he knows everything. He stitched us together. Babies probably have a ball in the womb. This is when you come out.
Start hollering.
That you start crying because you just entered this BS. Oh my God, what is this? Where's the nice comfy sack I was just in? Now
you think about the mind of a youth too,
cold,
how it
I'm
gets crafted. How that drink gets crafted to either be one way or another. Like, one of the things I like to refer to is racism. You put a black baby with a white baby, they're going to play all day long. But it's until they learn that ingrained hatred from their surroundings, from their environment, then that's what forms who they are. And then now they're carrying that. So all it does is grow. It grows with them. That drink, so it boggles my mind. Like when the Savior said, he's like, don't hold the children back. Let them come unto me. Forbid them not. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get out the way. Matter of fact, in order to enter the kingdom, you got to be like one of them. Just accepting everything that comes to you in this environment that I chose for you to live in. So, man, that's deep as a mother. It's like if he knew you before you were in the womb, and he put you in your mother's womb from the conception. He knew the environment you was going to be in, and he still got a plan with everything you done faced that you think, man, this is the worst ever. No, it's not. No, it's not. You want to know what was the worst ever? The walk that Yeshua had to walk from birth till death. I remember when he opened up my mind one time I was reading, he was like, do you know that if the Savior had jacked up when he was a teenager, y'all would have been lost? We like to think of him in his ministry after he turned 33 and stuff like that. But when he was a kid, when his brothers was doing that mischief, hey, let's go steal that apple from the market. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's go take this. And he had to be the one that's like, nah, y'all go ahead. I'm going to stay in this carpentry joint, get my hammer on. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be good. And they hated him for that because he was a goody two-shoes. He was a straight arrow. He was a straight shot. And then the pressure from his mind, from that peer pressure from his own family that's here, in order to overcome that, the one thing he did, that he kept consistent every day, early in the morning, he got up, went out into the nature that he created and rapped with his father. He got the power, he got the word, he got the wisdom that he needed for that day. And he carried him through the rest of the day. And every day he did the same thing, which is why when it came time to minister, he was like, this is my beloved son in whom I'm well pleased. Because he done rapped to me every day of his life. This anointing at this baptism, this is just for y'all. Because if he don't do this, then those of you who do not do it, y'all can't enter in. He's being baptized for those that will never get a chance to. That's why I love him so much, because he did the stuff that we could never do, that we could never face. Bruh, to be taken into custody, thrown into a Roman garrison with soldiers who don't know you. They ain't even got no beef with you. The beef is with the Jews. But they come around and spit in your face and smack you and say, who did it? And then not only do you not respond, but you're so powerful, you got to have the wherewithal in your mind not to think the thought, these jokers do this one more time. You can't even have that thought, because angels is on the brim of heaven with their swords out like, ready to get them. And it won't even be bloody. No, you got to understand, it won't even be bloody and messy, because that's not necessary. These are human beings against supernatural powers. It's like, y'all drop. Like breath out of your body. You thinking you big and bad and you about to do something with your pistol, breath gone, heart stop, mind stop working, you drop. Done. That's it. Done. That's his power. But he did that because when he was in that garrison, he was thinking about me and my struggle and how I can't get over and how I repent of the same daggone thing day after day. And he's like, I got to hang for that, brother. I got to hang up there for him, Joe. I got to hang him for him. And then once the universe is watching and they see Satan's ultimate plan, because up until that point, niggas wasn't sure. He was like, young, my government is going to be better than the Most High's. But let me see your true colors. This dude is about to defeat you, so what do? We throw the whole house at him. Satan was in his ear every minute of the way. You can't do this. He was there, dog. He was there in the garden. He was there on the walk to Gethsemane, to Golgotha. He was there when that joint got planted into the ground. He was there when he was hanging. And the demons was whipping up the crowd, talking trash. Save yourself. Save yourself. Listen to what they were saying. You're supposed to be the king of everything. Save yourself. He could have had the thought. The sky had to get black because the father was just like, man, I can't watch this. He's like, why have you forsaken me? I'm talking about, this is one of the realest things if you think about it. It's like he did what we could never do. And when he said it is finished, Slim, it was finished. Everything that the devil tries to drill in our head that we can't get over, that's a lie. Anything that he's telling you that he's like, young, you'll never get over this. You a sucker. You doomed for hell. It's a lie. You already lost. When he said it is finished, what part of finished you don't understand? If something is finished, it's over. So what's my choice? Believe it or not. Just like he said, you either believe it or not. They scared of it, man. I'm telling you, Joe.
But to believe it, it's gonna take you deep.
It's gonna take you.
He's not shallow. Look how big he is. He's deep. He can't be searched. It's unsearchable.
So high you can't get over him. So wide you can't get around him. So deep you can't get under him. That's how that song went.
Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
He, like the brother said, man, I don't believe in chance. I don't believe in chance. And to know the circumstances under us meeting, what the other individual's intention was, we wasn't supposed to be cool. It shouldn't have been. It should have been It's unfortunate there was in a spiritual setting, Bible study type joint though. But I mean, I'm not gonna go into all that because that's not the case. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But my man Jarrell, we wasn't supposed to be cool. We've been kicking it for 19 years, 20 years. And I met him trying to steal from me. Caught him with his hand in my book bag trying to take my scientific calculator because somebody told him that it was theirs. A thief. A known, he was a thief, you know what I'm saying? And he thought it was funny. I'm new. I'm the new kid. I only been there like 3 days. I didn't dress, I mean, I'm older, but I got held back. They kicked me out of school in Virginia. But, you know, I'm dressed different. I had some, like, Durangos on, you know, the jeans with the button up. Everybody was still wearing, like, Madness and, athletic, looking like everybody go play basketball every day. I'm like, man, I'm only here for 2 months. I need to graduate and go on about my business. I don't know none of y'all. I don't want to get to know none of y'all. They already told me if I get in any trouble, I won't graduate, so please stay away from me. Everybody. I look across the room, this nigga in my bag. I walk over to him like, bro, you need something? He's like, huh? I said, you in my bag, you need something? Oh, that's your bag? And he looked at the other dude, like, nigga, you said this was yours, man, my bad, man. He gave me the calculator back. I said, man, these niggas playing games. They're playing games already. They in cahoots against me, man. That's not, I mean, I'm going down because I have to go. I'm new. I got to destroy somebody real fast so it'll be known, not that one. Just leave that one alone. Let him just graduate and go about his business. Kind of found out, man, the brother lived around the corner from me in Bannister. We've been cool ever since. You know what I'm saying? Work with the brother. You know what I'm saying? And that's my man. That's my man, his brother. You know what I'm saying? We peoples. You know, a very interesting group of young men. They're very interesting. You know, you need some interesting people like that on your side. You know?
Interesting people.
Very interesting. Very interesting. You know what I'm saying? And that's about the best way to put that. You know, when you make a phone call, tell them you hit a deer. Huh? Nah, man, I ain't say that.
You ain't getting into it?
I ain't say nothing. I was thinking I'm sleepy. I'm tired, man. I'm tired looking at the clock. I was thinking about doing some sermonic flow. Bro, can I get a water, please, sir? Thank you.
Man.
I was thinking about hitting him with some sermonic flow, man.
What you gonna hit him with?
I don't know. Nah. I ain't got the energy for it, man. It takes a lot out of you.
Takes a lot. I finished writing the track yesterday, man. I got to memorize it, though.
What you sent me? What about the footprint?
Nah, that joint,
Nah, I just want some more.
The joint I sent you, that was just the chorus on that joint. But I like finished writing a complete joint that I've been delaying on for a while. But all I gotta do is like sit aside.
Please, bro. Thanks, man.
All I gotta do is just sit aside and set aside the time. And that's what I did. But when you finish writing it, like it took me like 2.5 hours to write the joint yesterday. When I was done, I had to lay down. Because he gave me every word. He always gives me every word. Because I ain't got no ambition. I was talking to Raphael the other day. I was like, for real live, Joe, what I see myself doing, if he allows me to do it for the rest of my life, I sit back and make beats. I make all y'all beats.
Shit, warm.
One of them gonna be warm.
No, let me get the code. Let me get the code, John. Thank you, sir.
That answered all that.
I need cold water.
Can't do no warm. I remember they made me drink warm water in the hospital. They was like, you need to do it because you're sick. You can't drink cold water. I said, if y'all don't get this cold
Bring
water,
that
give me
gas
some
up.
ice.
Bring that gas up in you, man.
Man. Shit, man, that's about all I had. That's what we do when we come in here, Joe. When those chairs is open, we talk about growing pains, man. We talk about real stuff. Ain't no script. We ain't never had no script. We been going, 2.5 years?
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired, man. I'm tired of being responsible. I'm tired of being not me tired of being responsible. I'm tired of being responsible for other people. I'm tired of being responsible for myself. Just tired. So sometimes I just want to just be left alone and go away, but I can't. I got wife, I got kids, I got homies I love, want to see, love, chopping up with them. Sometimes I just want to be left alone, man. You know.
Oh, I know.
I've always been that type of loner dude, but man, when I said all that to say this. Once I stepped into the fold, I knew what I was going to be up against. Everything and anybody that's against him. You know, when I got married, I knew what I had to deal with and do and not do. You know, I wouldn't have done it if I ain't know what I was stepping into. You know?
Right.
And that's a big deal, bro. Once you commit yourself to something, or to someone or something, ain't no days off. Like ain't no weekend. And walking with God, you ain't no weekend. Ain't no holiday. So what? Memorial Day Monday. So what? So what? Not to the no diss to the vets.
I got you.
It's like, man, we don't get no. Once you commit to something or so on, you don't get a day off. And I be wanting the day off. And I know some of y'all. I know y'all.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. But the love, man, you made the commitment because you love what you saying you committed to for whatever reason, right? And I realized again, because nothing is new. Like I'm like constantly learning new things, learning myself, learning people, learning the inner me, that y'all don't know, that y'all haven't met yet. Like, I got another, like it's another me per se. Like that me I deal with when it's just me and him. Like it's another me. But man, once I made that commitment, man, I knew what it was, and it's just one of the things I just, again, you either deal with it, don't. You believe it, or don't. It's just, man, we got to get to a place, man, and I ain't directing this to nobody, and like that. I'm just saying, like him, like us as his people, man, just knowing what we agreed to. I mean, knowing what we allowed to happen. Like, we gave ourselves to him, man. We got our lives to him. Yes, he chose us and all that before the foundations of the earth. I get that, but we know what we signed up for, man. And just keep that in mind. I don't know who that's for, but just keep that in mind. You know what you signed up for. And like you said, Brad, it is finished, right? Like it's already worked out. Just going through the manifestation process. Imagine, thank you. Imagine going through something, right? Like we all can imagine. And don't none of us know how this stuff gonna end, man. We don't know. We know it's gonna end. We don't know when. We don't know why, how, or whatever. But we know it's all like it's gonna be okay at the end. Not by the end. I mean, not not during the process sometimes, but when it gets to the end, it's done. Like it's finished. It's okay now because it's over with. Think about that. Going through something, not knowing how it's going to end, knowing it's going to end, and all you want is some peace while you're going through it most times. And that's why he put us through the stuff to obtain the peace from the struggle. Man, how you going to have peace without not having peace? Think about that. How you going to have peace without having no peace? You want peace because you don't have none, right? Think about that, bro. He put us through this stuff to obtain the peace that we asked for. So, yeah, we asked, Lord, give me peace, give me strength. Okay.
You gotta go through something.
Put you through this jungle over there by yourself with Godzilla, with King of Zamunda people, Caesar, whoever.
Yeah.
By yourself.
This is Zamunda.
He did say Zamunda.
Go in that jungle and get some peace.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but he send you by yourself and he walking right with you.
Hey, that's wild you said that, because that's what I tried to tell the young lady Lexus at the treatment facility. She said she asked the Most High, I think she said, to make her stronger or to give her strength.
And then what happened?
Her brother got killed.
See? So sometimes we ask for the stuff that we ask for it unbeknownst to us. Not
Unbeknownst.
even knowing what we ask for.
We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know.
That's
I
real.
tell people all the time, be careful what you ask God
Be
for.
careful.
You better be careful.
Because you going to get it. And you ain't gotta ask him. You can think it because he heard it. So you asked him already, but you ain't had to say it. Man, be careful with that, man. Be careful. I don't ask for it no more. I don't, bro. No, I don't. Like, I'm afraid of what I got to go through to obtain it. I'm scared, like, I ain't gonna lie. I'm scared at this point now to even not ask for help, but certain things I just know I just gotta eat. Just eat it. Eat it. Eat it.
If
I don't ask for that type of help no more, bro.
if my requests come unto him, and with that understanding, the thing that I do now that I didn't do before is I tell him my reasons why I'm asking him for it.
He already know.
Yeah, I know he knows, but he needs me to verbalize it so I can hear myself talk. I need to hear myself, because then it becomes authentic. I know he knows everything I'm about to say, but when I'm like, young, then he works. That's when he says, "Come, let us reason together." That's when he works it out with me. He's like, young, I got to hit my man up, because if I don't get something to twist up right now, I'm going to lose it. And I know you got peace that surpasses all understanding, but I like the way that joint, I like the way it puts my mind. So I'm going to ask for that, but instead, if you can give me that peace and get my mind right there and I don't have to have that, then I'm good with that. Because I know you are a holy, righteous God. I ain't trying to take you out of your personality, but this is me and you rapping, Father. You know what I'm saying? When I have that type of real conversation, nonverbal, but up here, then it becomes real because he expands my mind as to what, and then he takes me to the source of the problem of why I even want the peace to begin with, just like you saying. And he's like, now, let's walk through why you want this peace. And he starts me from A, B, C, and I walk through the joint. And then every step of the way, he shows how he has had his hand on me. So it makes me not even want whatever I wanted to begin with, because then I play detective with him. How many times have we come in here and gone back over conversations we had earlier in the week? We came, we heard something, and we was like, well, that don't mean nothing. Then later on in the week, I needed that to give to somebody else. And I thought I was going crazy because I ain't getting nothing out of it. But it wasn't for me. It was for me to receive to give to somebody else because it ain't about you. But he preserved me all week long and kept me sane all week long and caused me to remember it, because when the person stood in front of me to get that word, he was like, remember that conversation? They need to hear it. When my mother got that diagnosis from the doctor, and I called her and I was like, what happened? And she was like, well, you know, sounded down. I didn't know what to tell her. I said that night, and I was like, what is happening here? I know what's happening, but I still had to ask the question, Father, what's happening here? Then that night I read about David and Goliath and see the whole joint brand new. I was like, oh, Mom, this is your Goliath. And what did David do? When all the Israel was standing there shook, David was like, yeah, who gonna take out this uncircumcised Philistine who done taken away the honor from the Most High's people? Started talking. He was like, yeah, the same God that delivered a bear and a lion into my hand because they was fooling around with my sheep, I'm gonna knock this dude out too. Ran at that joint. Goliath was out there talking big trash. He said he cussed him out in the name of his God. And David let him finish. When he was done, he was like, got it all out? All right, now, in the name of Yahweh, who's going to put your head in my lap before the end of this day, I'm going to take you out. And then not only that, once I take you out, my crew going to slaughter your whole tribe, taking all y'all out. So let's get it on. He ran at that dude. Now, the thing that the Most High brought out to me because when he starts playing detective and gives me reading between the lines, he's like, Goliath stood 6 cubits. A cubit is 3 feet. That's 18 feet off the break, and then some. He said he had a dude with a shield. He had a own dude to carry his shield. He didn't carry his shield because it was too much. He had another man carry his shield and walk in front of him. Then he had a javelin across his back that he had horizontally. That joint was about 15 feet. So you're talking about a tall, wide dude coming, stomping up, and then talking trash to everybody. And David is looking like, who is this dude? And he ran at that. So I told my mother, I was like, we're going to run at this Goliath. Picked her joint, picked it. She was like, I need this faith because I'll be finding I don't have faith. And we got other family members who deal with the same diagnosis that she's stressing about right now. But to hear her prayers have been picking up, we go to see the doctor on Friday. Bruh.
Did David kill Goliath? Did David kill Goliath?
That's an interesting question.
Well,
I know why I asked that, yeah.
what was it? I believe it said,
he slung the stone. The angel put his hand on that joint and said,
I don't know if it was murder, like, you know.
That's what he said was, he said the same God that delivered the lion and delivered the bear into his hands, even though he physically had an altercation with these two animals, the credit was given to the Most High for delivering the bear and the lion into his hands. He said he's going to also deliver this Philistine into my hand. It is funny how sometimes, just taking the story literally, like Brad said, he slung the rock. The rock got by that angel, killed Goliath when it struck him in his forehead. It embedded itself into his face. But David ran up and chopped his head off. Had he not chopped his head off, do you think David would have got the fame that he got?
Probably not.
But the Most High would have.
Yeah.
I just found it to be interesting. I've never really thought about that like that until you was talking.
The chopping of the head off was the utmost disrespect.
He was already dead, though.
But it had to happen, because it's not only confronting and knocking down the problem; it's the complete decimation of that.
Yeah. Cut
It's
from the
it
root, like you said earlier.
I can get with that.
The root.
because all the Philistines was like, this is our dude.
No.
And I also believe this. The Most High was like, he wasn't the only giant in the crowd. He was among the other giants. He
His
the
brothers
one
was
with the most-
giants.
Oh yeah, his brothers. That's exactly
brothers
right.
was
His brothers.
giants.
So
Some
we
big
talk
niggas,
about
man.
a bunch of big dudes.
You got a
Not
bunch of
just one.
18-foot tall jokers walking around being petty. Petty jokers, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man, okay, big man.
Slap the taste out your mouth just because you there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Joe.
They was wild back
I
then,
can't
bro.
imagine. I can't imagine.
Man, but sometimes, man, what that is though, sometimes when we want to need something, all it takes is a simple thank you. Just thank you. That's all I say. Thank you. You don't even know what you're thanking him for because you know he's doing something.
Doing
No, we
something.
doing something.
Thank you. Thank you.
He's doing something.
It's a simple thank you. Leave it at that.
Just don't ask a question so ambiguous. You gotta be a little bit more detailed in what you're asking for. So if I'm going through something, I don't ask for a resolution. I ask just for some type of guidance on how to guide through the situation I'm going through. I don't necessarily say, "Sure, give me peace," because that I don't even know what that is. So like, you ask for that, then you get thrown, like you said, in the forest, and you now you lost. Now I have no idea what I'm doing. That's hard. That's hard.
That is hard.
I typically just ask for, like, if I'm going through something, whether marital, whether with my family, whether with work, just show me what I'm doing wrong in this particular situation. And it helps. It helps, man. It's been helping. Now, I wasn't the person I necessarily found myself talking to God most, like, until, honestly, recently, man. I kind of just figured, I'm just going to, like you said, take it on the chin and figure this out on my own, but I can't do that. And it's proven that I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, Joe. I don't know what we doing.
Yeah, man. I ask for particular things, like, very, very detailed. Yeah. When I ask, not ambiguous, not just this broad statement. It never goes right.
You look at what the Most High's people's issue was from the beginning. We seen, what was it, chapter 32, what you had open up?
Exodus.
Apostasy. You know what I'm saying? Israel's apostasy. We've gotten to a point in this country where we think the norm is proper. Like that's what it's supposed to be because it's the norm. Or the tradition is proper because that's what everybody does. You have to go back and see what they were doing before they started messing up. Before they started messing up. That means before Egypt. You know, how were they living? What type of rules and regulations did they have as a people? What was Abraham and Isaac and them? How were they living their lives? Because they did some interesting stuff, but they kept the Most High. They kept the Most High first. He gave them laws and regulations and statutes that they did not want to live by, so he gave them laws and statutes and rules that they shouldn't live by. It's in Ezekiel. Ezekiel 20. He gave them laws that they should not live by. Should not live. He gave them laws and statutes that they should not live by because they didn't want to live by the laws and statutes that he gave them that would help them. So he brought the madness into the camp because of disobedience, just like with the strong delusion, 2 Thessalonians, because there's no love for the truth. You're going to buy the strong delusion. You're going to buy. If you're not willing to find out what that in its most original state means for us, you're eating a strong delusion. We all, I'm no longer under the strong delusion. And I don't think this brother is either, but the majority of the world, and I'm not taking anything away from anybody's individual relationship with the Most High, your prayer life, you're not coming for that at all. But there is a delusion being kicked around, and all the world is wondering after it. All the world. And they think, people think it's safe to disassociate yourself from a denomination. You have non-denominational stuff, but we don't subscribe to that. We don't subscribe to that. We don't subscribe to that. Search the roots. Look at your foundation. Look at your bylaws or whatever, however they worded, your fundamental beliefs, I guarantee you they're lined up with the papacy. I guarantee it. At the root, but people don't go that deep to even see what's at the root. They won't, because they know, man, you know, the roots is in the ground. You got to get dirty, and you got to go deep to get to the roots. Shallow roots, that plant ain't gonna live. This thing has been thriving for what?
Yeah.
1,500, 1,700, 1,800 years. Them deep roots, and they stem from Rome. That's a long way to have reached the United States of America. That's a pretty strong deception that's being kicked around in this country. Yeah. It's an extremely strong, he said, I will send strong delusion. I used to think he said, the scripture said, I'm going to send them the strong delusion or a strong delusion. No, he's like strong delusion is a weapon of his. Because there's no love for the truth, because you don't have a love for the truth, I will send strong delusion so that you will believe the lie. What is that? 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Chapter 2, what was it, verse 9? Let's start at 9. 2 Thessalonians. Verse. I feel it's weird not having my Bible. 2 Thessalonians 2. Yeah, even him who's coming on 11. And for this cause, Yah shall send them strong delusion. Shall send them strong delusion that they should believe. This says a lie, but it actually in the King James says the lie. That they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. And that'll throw you. Because you see unrighteousness, you may think, oh, they out there tripping, partying. They didn't take pleasure in the truth. The truth hurts. The truth is supposed to cut you. It's not supposed to feel good. What we know to be tradition is the biggest part of the strong delusion. You got to get beyond that. You got to get beyond all tradition. Almost, you got to reboot your brain. Factory reset. You know what I'm saying? Control, Alt, Delete, and clear the hard drive. Don't lose sight of the Most High. Don't lose sight of His Son. Don't lose sight of His Spirit. But what you think you know about them, you've been lied to. I say that with all the confidence that I possess. Yeah. From what they look like to what their names are. We've been lied to. Now, if we go back to what the people that He chose a certain group of people to deal with. What did they call them? How did they determine that He looks? Hair like wool, feet like brass, burnished, eyes like fire. Man, we ain't running around with all them different colored eyes and stuff. You know, most of our eyes is brown. Some variation of brown. All of us. Hey, Joe, Slim, we different. We different. He picked us for a reason. He put something in each one of us. It's not for you to know everything. I would advise you to be more. You say you ask for details. You're not ambiguous with your prayers. I think this goes for all of us. To ask the Most High to open our minds up, flat out. That could be considered ambiguous, you know, because you're not asking to open your mind up about any specific thing.
About Him.
But that's going to ultimately be what it's about. He's going to reveal to you Him and everything.
As much as you can take.
Matthew 7:7, ask and shall be given.
Yeah.
Seek and you'll find.
Knocking, the door shall be open. Question is, do you really want to see what's on the other side of that door? What did Morpheus tell that man? All I'm offering you is the truth. Nothing more. He gave him the pills. Said, all I'm offering you is the truth. Nothing more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And to think about it, I mean, Joe, it takes a certain type of person to consider, man, for 37 years, I was off when I saw I was on. I knew I was on the money with what I was talking about. But it was tainted. It was askew. It wasn't as level as I thought it was. And there's a certain arrogance that comes along with thinking you know something. But then to know that you know something is a boldness that comes along with that. It's not an arrogance. It's no longer an arrogance. It's like I know something you don't know, but I got something that you need. You know what I'm saying? And everybody needs the truth, man. The truth sets you free. If you're not possessing the truth, you're not truly free. You know what I'm saying? This is life, to know the one true Yah and his son, who he sent. Everything stems on the Most High Son. Everything is geared towards drawing your attention towards the Most High Son. But if that's really not where your attention is being drawn, because the devil is a usurper and all he wants is our worship, however he can get it, if he's figured out a way to harness worship to himself by falsifying the one who the worship belongs to, I think that would fall into the category of all the world wandering after the beast.
My joint is young. It's like, why wouldn't he do that? You can't put nothing past that joker. There ain't nothing too wicked you can think of. Say, nah, he wouldn't do that. What are you talking about? He is evil.
Still, he's roaming around,
seeking whom may be devour.
And you know what that means? Like, that means he's going to us individually.
Oh yeah.
He try to get him like, you too strong today. I ain't gonna mess with him today. Let me go to Brad though. Brad ain't feeling too good today. I'm gonna catch him slapping. He's like, you always on creep.
Ready to pounce.
You know?
Can't wait.
To snatch out your roots.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have no life. So you can't birth nothing no more. And that's what I'm saying.
Keyword is may. Keyword is may. He ain't said the key word there is may.
May.
Seeking whom he may, might, possibly, could devour. So stick with the Most High. Yeah. All that roaring, hey, keep on making that noise, Slim. You on a real short leash.
That's him trying to see if you scared or not, though.
Trying to see if you scared. Yeah.
Oh, you ever walk past, like, go through a cut and somebody got some rocks or some bit in their backyard and you don't jump because you used to dogs barking? Like, they just come, and man, they can come from out of nowhere. Like,
yeah.
Most people like, what?
But don't know that dog there, though.
Don't know the dog there. But you know the noise. You heard that noise.
Yeah.
And you ain't tripping. You ain't fearful of that noise. Yeah. That's the devil. Barking. Trying to catch you slipping down that cut. See if you really look into the hills from which coming your help. That's him doing that. That's him doing that, man.
All talk. All bark. Ain't got no teeth. All gums.
And he behind the fence.
He gumming. And he behind the fence.
Defense is the covering, man. Yo, he got us covered, bro.
A hedge.
Hedge,
yeah. That's what his beef was with Job. He said, man, all the reason he prays is because you got that hedge of protection around. He said, remove that hedge and watch him curse you. He pulled it back.
Yep.
He pulled it back, but he still said you can't take his life, though. So, I look at it like this. It's not to sound like braggadocious, not boasting. There been plenty of times where I should be dead. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't like, man, I'm unstoppable. Nah, but I gotta be here for a reason. Have to be. And that attributes to the boldness. And as we come into our elder age, that's when, them three Hebrew boys stood up in the midst of all the nations that were present, even their own. Mm-hmm. Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael, not Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. That's what Nebuchadnezzar called them. Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah were their Hebrew names. They were noted as the three Hebrew boys, not the three Chaldean boys, which was the names that they were given. But I said, nah, O king, live forever. But know ye one thing this day, nigga, we ain't bound to you or your statue. Hey, do what you do. Throw him in the furnace. All right, whatever. The Most High was in there with them. Yahushua was in there with
they
them.
Were so defiant.
In the midst, as the what was it,
the version? What version was that?
That was the prayer Azariah talking about what was going on in the midst of the fire.
Oh yeah.
An apocryphal book, the prayer of Azariah.
He prayed while he was in there.
Yeah, why ain't that in here?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the defiance they showed. They was like, even if you don't say
prayer of Judith,
we ain't bound.
Or the book of Judith, the prayer of Manasseh, prayer of Azariah. You know, what's the other shorty name?
Judith. Judith was the one I like.
Susanna.
Susanna. Yeah.
Belle and the Dragon. You would make the mistake of thinking it's talking about a big flying thing that's fire breathing. No, it's not what it is. Oh, they had a dragon. But Daniel made some C4 basically and blew the head of the joint off. Baal is Baal. They were worshiping Baal. You know what I'm saying? And the priest or whatever, they was working the king. Had him thinking Baal was eating up all this food that they used to set out, drinking all this wine. They set this lavish feast for Baal. They come in, everything gone. Oh, Baal like that. That God is like that. Daniel was like, look, sprinkle some powder on the floor. Put some powder on the floor and put somebody outside the room so can't nobody come through that door. They came in the next morning, little feet print all over the place. And they had a little secret compartment that the priest and their families would come into this banquet and party as if they were Baal. Man, Cyrus, I think it was Cyrus or Darius, wanted to kill all of them. Bring all them jokers up here. Because he had been, I can imagine, man, he had been spending so much money on these, thinking he was worshiping Baal. And the priest is eating good. Daniel showed the king, I think it was Darius at the time, that God is your God is fake. He's not. Man, Baal is the main ancient male deity of the Phoenicians. So that's like Tower of Babel type origination. Nimrod, they worship Baal. You know Baal in Hebrew is Lord. Baal in Hebrew is Lord. So.
That's news to me, bro.
Slim, I'm talking about words mean a lot more than what we think. And Hebrew is a difficult language. Most of what we got in the New Testament is Greek. Pastors always want to talk about the Greek. I don't remember him rocking with the Greeks. I don't remember him rocking with the Greeks. There were some Greek-speaking Jews, Grecians. Hellenists. But I don't recall the Most High, like, choosing Greece. But don't nobody teach Hebrew. Or they have a modern Hebrew. Yeah, you got these rabbinical Jews. They ain't got nothing to do with Yah. They put this matriz lectionis on the Hebrew language, you know, the Nakud, the vowel point system, make all these fake sounds. And they'll be over there dancing like a mug. They like, these niggas is stupid. They don't know we done stole their land, stole their name, stole their language. And they don't know because they're not being taught. They don't care. All they want to do is put some jewelry on, get you a car, kill a few people, smoke some weed, be a rapper, or, you know what I'm saying, play basketball, football, work for somebody else your entire life. Don't really want anything. Don't want to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Don't really want no responsibility. Oh, man, let them stay over there in America, the home of the land of the free and the home of the brave. Let them live the American dream, meaning they going to stay asleep. You can't sleep, you can't dream or wake, can you? How you live the American dream if you're woke? You can't. It would seem impossible to me to, you're daydreaming, but you're not being productive. Right. If you're daydreaming,
you're not moving.
You're not doing anything. Yeah. Your mind is stuck. And you're thinking about something that doesn't matter. What were you doing? Oh, I was just daydreaming. I was fleeting thoughts. That's not productive. That's not going to help anything.
Yeah, how was your trip?
Where were you at just now? Yeah. Are you back? Are we here? Can we move forward now?
Right.
Wake up. It's time to wake up and step into who and what we are and what we were put here to do. And that's be glorified. Or the Most High said he's going to glorify his name in the sight of the heathen. Ezekiel 20. Read Ezekiel 20, bro. Matter of fact, you coming to King Joint Friday? King. You know King, man.
Oh, man. Friday?
Yeah. And it's King house, right? Yeah.
At his house?
You know, join around the corner from me.
I might even pull that on. What time?
7:30, 9:30? 7:30 to 9:30.
7:30 to 9:30. Yeah, let me try to work that out because I'm going to have all my kids, man.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want to leave all that, all that responsibility to my wife.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Well, that's your job.
It's right by the crib, so I can probably pull that one off.
Right. I want to go into Ezekiel 20, man, and really break down exactly what he's saying. And you know, people, oh, he says his name. He's talking about his character. Why didn't he say his character then? Most High ain't dumb.
Nah.
Yeah. I think he says what he means and means what he says. He's calling us to be intelligent. Pray for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Yeah. It'll make it clear. Yeah. And stop listening to the pastor.
I don't.
You know?
I don't.
Tell that joker. Real talk.
Search for truth for yourself.
Yeah, definitely, because that's what the word says. Study to show thyself.
Yeah.
But man, most people God nowadays aren't in God for one, and they're not under His anointing. Like it's them talking. God's not using them at that time to minister to His people. Most of them, anyway. You know.
Yeah. So you got many are called, few are chosen.
Very few.
I believe we're chosen.
I believe that too.
I'm positive that He picked us, hand-picked.
Ain't no way we can go through the stuff that we went through. Still got our sanity.
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 Left of it anyway.
We a little off.
Yeah.
We are a little off.
Still got our sanity.
So were the prophets.
Still able to share it with somebody else who we feel like that God may be telling us, yeah, that's one of mine. So I need you to holler at them so they can receive me through you.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they look different, even though they stink, even though their eyes red, even though their clothes dirty, even though they're not in the suit, even though they sit on the curb.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or talking to themselves at a bus stop. You know, sometimes our job is just to sit there. We're in a place where no one else will sit.
And go where no one else will go.
And go where no one else will go. You know, sometimes all you gotta do is and roll out. You ain't gotta say nothing. Just let a person know that I know you're a human. You're not foreign. I dig where you at. And just let the Most High will take that interaction and change that person's life. Because somebody cared.
I mean, man, somebody did for us. Man, who are we not to share that? Like, what, you just get yourself together, that's it? Like, you the last one that God said to fix, help, minister to?
Yeah, there are people like that. Be sad, Joe.
Yeah, we about to close up. We got I'm gonna say a close word of prayer and that's it. Bow your head. Most High, thank you for allowing your Ruach to stop past here today. Thank you for allowing Lamar, his man, I can't remember his name. You know him. Thank you for allowing him to stop by and just kick it with us. You know, chop it up for a little bit. I ask that you continue to be with Brad's mother. You know what our request is for this complete and total healing with this attack that the enemy is trying to bring away. Darren's family as well. Anybody that's out there in need of prayer, anybody that's sick, hurting, going through something, I'm asking that you continue to remove the strong delusion. But for those who don't understand that they're even under a strong delusion, open their minds and show them exactly who and what you are and the fact that you don't change. You've never changed and you don't plan on changing. And until somebody can remove the stars and the sun and the moon from the sky, Israel will be your people. Show us in your word where you picked us and that you've never turned your back on us. You said you'll never leave us nor forsake us. Thank you in advance for saving us in your kingdom. Forgive us for all our many iniquities. Give us traveling mercies as we leave here. Bless the studio and the efforts of those controlling the behind-the-scene functions. This is my prayer in Yahushua name. Amen.
Amen. It's been Real Talk 1-on-1, Sunday afternoon from 6 to 8 p.m. We'll see you next week, and until then, may Yah bless and keep you.
Seek truth.
So tell me, what is Hood Proud?
I mean, basically, Hood Proud is something that the world needs. God has commissioned us to go into the world because there are people hurting. I mean, emotionally, and we're talking my people. We're talking the hood. We're talking people that are struggling to survive. And it's like when they're looking for answers, I mean, you could just say, well, pray, but I mean, they got things that they're trying to accomplish. They got needs that need to be met. So what is Hood Proud? Hood Proud is the complete concept spiritually where God is like, first, feed the people, clothe the people. When you're done with that, then tell them why you did what you did. Because when you explain to them why I clothed you, why I fed you,